welcome. We are here to explore a new idea about how the future foretold in the Bible, as well as the pre-flood world, likely have different laws and a different nature or state than this present world. Science and the Bible offer diametrically opposing claims on where this world and universe and life originated. The sole basis of all claims from science regarding the future or the distant past is the natural laws and forces of today, extrapolated into the future or far past as a means to explain what we now observe. Whether trying to explain light from distant stars or the supposed eventual fate of the sun or the fossil record, it is always the same key they use. They have thought that the present is the key to the past and the future. However, unless the nature, laws and forces such as the strong and weak nuclear forces, etc., of the past and future were identical to this present time, none of the claims of science about the distant past would have any validity at all. The following is some excerpts from a summary of the idea written in 2005, which will be followed by a few closing thoughts. Prepare to be amazed. The concept of our future in a biblical perspective is one that is quite different from the present realities. In heaven, we are told, are beings that last forever, and a light from God other than sunlight, and trees that have different fruit each month. These are but a few things worth mentioning that do not compare with what man knows today as reality. There are angels and people who live forever and never get sick, who have spiritual powers, and yet there are real rivers, trees with fruit to eat, music, mansions, streets, etc. Jesus also, when he rose from the dead, had a resurrected body that we can see was far different than just a physical body. It exhibited traits of both a solid body as well as being spiritual and everlasting. Another major difference in the coming new universe is that it is eternal and will not pass away or decay like our present one. It is known that with present rates of decay and processes, the sun would cease to exist in theory after so many billions of years. This brings us to the important point of how present light is used to ascertain ages. We know the speed light now travels, and we have some idea of the great distances to stars. Yet the assumption is made that this speed indicates time involved in traveling from there to here. The light in the merged universe would not be bound by the same laws, just as spirits are not bound to the laws of physics. So light in the spiritual world is subject to other laws and properties, plus time difference. Editor's note here. Time difference. In other words, if time was not the same in the distant universe, how would we know now here? We assume that time moves or exists as we know it. But if it's different, then a light year is not really a light year. Okay. This brings us to the question of the light that was here at creation. There was light here on earth days before the sun was even made. What happened to it? We do not know. What kind of light it was? We really do not know. The stars also were created on the same day as the sun, we are told, were designed to be seen by us men. The sun and stars then were seen by the first men and women on earth. Something would have to be drastically different than it is now in this universe to allow that to happen. Many other things also would not be possible in this world as we now know it. It is safe to say lifespans recorded in the Bible texts have men living just under 1,000 years of age. Plants were made on day 3 of creation, and men and all creatures in this world only days later were eating them. Yet it was the fruit of the trees and the herbs and plants that were given for us to eat. This indicates a fantastic rate of plant growth. The worldwide flood of Noah is yet another example of the likely major changes in how things on Earth worked. A planet-wide deluge which covered even high mountain peaks, and after many months the waters receded to present levels. Fountains under the earth and torrential rain from above were the source of this world of water, all of which is very difficult to try to explain, if not impossible, under present observed laws of nature. Everything in a physical-only universe would be affected: time, space, light, perhaps gravity. The fabric of the universe itself would have been very much altered, at least on and near Earth. Science is limited to the physical, natural universe, and alone cannot begin to understand how the spiritual dimension works. So determining by science exactly to what degree time was affected and how, or what effect a separation of a merged, that is spiritual and physical, a merged universe would have on light, etc., would not be possible. Science, in other words, cannot dispute the concept of the merge. All our knowledge or science can do is look how the physical-only universe now operates, or appears to operate, and go from there. The new heavens and earth is eternal. It was illustrated, as was illustrated from the biblical account. The decay processes going on in the natural universe could not exist in the eternal coming universe. Quite simply, we couldn't have things like the sun burn out and the earth die of old age one day if it was eternal. Therefore, there is likely no radioactive decay in the merged universe. This simply means that we cannot use radioactive decay as a measure of time from a merged past, if there was one. Obviously, with no decay in the eternal heavens and earth, decay would not exist in the way it now does. No process of radioactive decay could exist in the eternal merged universe. End quote. Thank you for watching The Split Merge, a journey of discovery. Science has based all things upon present nature and laws. When it comes to the future and the far past, I propose that they were wrong and God really was right all along.